Hey everyone, welcome back to Anu Talk Show. So today I want to talk to you about why your mood is not a sales strategy. Because I was talking to a woman of color coach the other day. She's brilliant, she got client, she got real results, real expertise, and I asked her one simple question. Okay, I asked her to walk me through what she does every single week to sign clients. And she paused. Then she said something to me that actually surprised me or that stopped me. She said, I don't really have a process. I just kind of rely on my mood. And I want to talk to you about this because she's not alone. Most women of color coaches I talk to are operating the same way, the exact same way. And that one sentence that I rely on my mood is the reason why so many brilliant women of color coaches are still stuck at one income bracket in their business. So, in today's episode, I want to break down why relying on your mood is the most expensive mistake you are making in your business. And I want to kind of give you a perspective shift that you need in order to go from one income bracket to the next one. So, if you have your pen and paper, let's get started. So, let me tell you what it actually or what is happening when your sales strategy is your mood. Monday, you feel inspired, you post a content piece that is powerful, you show up on your stories, you mention your offer in your stories, and you're selling it. And you see inquiries coming in. Wednesday, you are tired, you had a hard conversation, you are second guessing your content, so you go quiet. The conversation didn't go well, you got rejected. You are showing up the next Monday, the following Monday, and now you feel guilty about going quiet. So you post something, but it is kind of like a safe post, means it's educational. You know, deep down, it's not your authentic self that is speaking in your content. You are kind of like whitewashing the messaging. And it is the kind of post that gets you likes, but not the clients you need in order to go to the next income bracket. Does this actually sound familiar? Because what nobody tells you is that when you are running your business based on how you are feeling, you are not actually running a business. You are running a mood journal with a payment link attached. And I know this because I used to be you. A business that only works when you feel good is not a business. Okay, again, a business that only works when you feel good to show up is not a business. And the worst part is that you are so talented. You are talented in your offer works, your clients are getting results, you have like a skill there, how you are getting your clients the results, but the structure is not there. And without a structure, your income will always mirror your emotional highs and lows instead of your actual expertise. So, one of the skills you need to build as a woman of color coach is emotional regulation. And I want to be careful here because I am not saying that your feelings does not matter. They do. But also I am not saying that something is wrong with you for operating this way. I just want to name it why this happens so that when you understand the root, you can stop blaming yourself and start building your business differently and powerfully. Because if you are aware of it or not, the blaming yourself is the reason why you go quiet instead of actually becoming aware of what is going on. Okay, I'm running my business from mood. How can I change that? Okay, so I want to actually tell you three reasons um, why you need to build your business differently and not rely on your mood. The number one reason is nobody taught you a sales process to build a sales process that is authentically you. You were taught how to coach. You were like people told you go get a certification. So now you have hundreds of certifications on the wall. Um, like people told you how to get better at your craft, always told you get better at your craft, get better at your delivery. But nobody sat down with you and said, here is how to create clients every single week, regardless of how you are feeling. They never actually teach you the skill of emotional regulation, and that skill was never transferred to you. So you filled the gap with the only thing available to you, so your energy in the moment. That's the number one reason. Number two is that the online business world romanticizes flow, right? You have heard it 1,000 times. Only do what feels aligned. Only sell when you feel good, when it feels good. And that sounds beautiful until you realize that you need to pay your rent in the next 30 days, whether you feel aligned or not. Your business can feel aligned, your sales process should feel aligned, but there will be times where you don't want to show up. What are you doing in that moment? What are you doing when you know you have to keep selling? How are you regulating yourself in order to keep um, running this business? Because you cannot only rely on your mood and energy when it comes to scaling your business to six figures. So the next reason is that selling still feels very vulnerable for you. So when your mood is low, right, and it is so much more easier to not sell than to sell and risk hearing no or risk getting rejected. The mood is not actually the issue here. The mood is the permission slip to avoid the thing that still feels uncomfortable for you. And you have to be okay with that first in order to change it. Because again, your mood is not the problem. Your mood is literally the escape route that you use to avoid selling when selling still feels scary, when selling is not built as a skill yet. When you have the skill of selling and you know how to sell every single day, you will never rely on your mood. You know how to work with your mood and keep on selling your offer every single day. Is that right? So, what I want you to hear today is you don't need more motivation. Okay, this is what I want. Like, if you are listening to this episode, you are watching this on YouTube, the number one thing I want you to realize is that you don't need more motivation. You just need a process that does not require motivation from you. Okay, let me say that again. You don't need to feel good in order to sell well. You don't need to feel good in order to sell well. You need a process that works whether you feel on fire or whether you want to stay in bed. Whether you are in your ovulation phase and you want to show your face every single day, or you are in your luteal phase and you want to actually be in your bed. Think about it. Doctors don't wait until they feel inspired to see their patients. Okay? Lawyers do not wait until they feel motivated to show up in court. Teachers do not cancel their classes because they are not in the mood Monday morning. They have a structure, they have a system, and a process that moves forward no matter of their emotional state. And this is what separates professionals from hobbyists, from a CEO who knows they will actually run their business to six figures and beyond, and from someone who's running their business like a hobby. And right now, I say this with love, your business is still set up like a hobby. Yes, you got clients, yes, you made good money, but if you don't have a process, it's still like a hobby because you are relying on your mood. So you show up when you feel like it. You sell when the energy is right, and you rest when the fear gets loud. But your expertise is not a hobby. Your results are not a hobby, and your clients transformation are not a hobby. But I see so many women of color coaches, they want a six figure and beyond business, but they are still having this identity and running the business as a hobby. So the gap in your business is not the talent. I know most, like all of the women of color coaches I work with, they are the smartest person in their room. It's not that their offer is bad, It's not your content. The gap is that you have CEO level skills and no CEO level structure to hold it, right? Your systems and your structure are not currently designed to help you to grow and scale your business right now. So when you build a business, when you know exactly what to post, when to mention your offer, how to have conversations that lead to sales, and do it on a rhythm, your mood becomes irrelevant. Not because you stop having feelings, right? Like because the business does not depend on them anymore. And I remember when I started my business, I was relying on my mood so much. Like when I didn't feel like it, I didn't show up in my business. When I didn't feel like it, I remember the days where I canceled sales call. I remember the days where I canceled client calls simply because my business was so dependent on my feelings and on my mood. That is not freedom. That's not freedom. That's running away. So I want you to imagine a new identity because that is what is missing right now. Just have like imagine you are waking up on Monday and you are tired. Maybe the weekend was hard. Maybe you did not sleep well. You have toddlers running around. Your personal life is feeling heavy, but you still open your laptop and you know exactly what you do. You have a sales process because you designed it based on you and you know exactly what to do. You know what to post, you know what conversations to follow up on, you know what your content needs to say and how to say it this week in order to help your prospects make a buying decisions. You have maybe 3 sales calls today and you are doing it not because you're grinding, not because some of motivational podcasts hyped you up this morning, but because you have a system that is authentically designed for you and how you are and who you are. And at the end of the week, maybe you signed a client because you showed up in your business no matter how you felt, how your mood were that week, right? Because your process did what processes do, it produced a result. So, the woman of color coaches who signs consistent clients is not the woman who feels motivated every single day. I don't feel motivated every single day to show up on my live podcast and talk show. She's the woman who builds something that works without motivation because she has standards for herself and for her business. And that is the identity shift. That is who you are becoming. Not a coach who sells like when she feels good, or a coach who stops selling because she's afraid of getting rejection and getting objections. But the identity is being a businesswoman who has a machine running underneath her and carrying her forward even on the hard days. You have to realize as a business owner that you will have hard days. Life is not only having good days, it's always like up and down, good days, hard days, good day, hard days. How are you carrying yourself forward even on the hard days? How can you let the business run even on the hard days? That is what the process will actually solve for you when you have systems and process in place. So if I told you that the reason your income is inconsistent has nothing to do with how talented you are and everything to do with the fact that you have never had a repeatable process for signing consistent clients, would that change how you see your business right now? Because that is exactly what I do and what I help my clients inside Leverage 20. Not more content ideas that you cannot implement, not another workbook for your clients, a real week by week process for selling your coaching every single day so that you stop relying on your mood and start relying on a structure that will produce income and that will keep helping you paying your rent, paying for your hobby, and paying for your next travel destination. So, Leverage 20 is for a woman of color coach who already has a skill set. You have an expertise, you already get results for your clients, but deep down, you know that the business side is not matching the expertise side. and you are ready to fix that. That is you. If you are watching this, you feel resonated with having like a business that is so much relying on your mood and you want to change that, DM me ready on Instagram. Not later, not when you feel like it, right now, so that we can book a call with you to actually go deeper on where the process has gaps right now, so that you can fill the gap, you can close the gap, and you are running a business that gets you the freedom that you want. So stop waiting to feel ready and build a process that makes ready irrelevant. Okay, stop waiting for that feeling of, oh my God, need to feel ready. You will never feel ready. Just take actions and decisions from your new identity. Thank you so much for joining. I hope this helped you to have a new perspective shift and help you to see that without a process, you are not running a business, and that relying on your mood is literally the most expensive business that you can run. Talk to you